Well, hello students, welcome back. And this is going to be very confusing for the first part when I show this, but I will show you step by step how to make this. This is going to be the word slicer program, and we're going to essentially treat our strings as if we are in as if they are tuples or a list. So let me run the module here, and so right now the word is pizza. And, here's our slice. This is the slice of the first two letters, second two letter, last this way, that way. This is the entire word. They'll slice out one letter forward, so on and so forth. So, what does all this mean? I'll show you. So, let's go to our friend JDoodle, and we don't have to be in interactive mode because we're just going to always make the word pizza for this type. So, let's just, whoops, hello, there we go. Let's just print out, our normal thing, our name, date, that sort of stuff. And I'll say, welcome to the word slicer program. And I'll give them a couple of ends for new line. There we go. And, I'll simply print out, something like, print, this program will slice a word. New line. The word is pizza. So just to make sure of that, I have to, make sure I have, I'll just name it word. Word equals pizza. And of course, remember to put quotes around your strings. So, we know we have a word, it's equal to pizza. Now, I'm going to just print this out because I'm essentially making a guide here. I'm making a guide to help you understand this. In theory, I don't need to make this at all, but I'm just showing this to you so that it's easier to understand. So if we have a forward slice, we also have a back slice. And then, of course, we have ourselves our actual string, which is also obviously made out of characters. So we have, slot 0, slot 1, slot 2, slot 3, slot 4, and slot 5, right? We have those things. In the same situation, we have slot -5 for a backward slice, -4, -3, -2, -1, and you would think there'd be another 0, but no, because there can't be two zeros. There's already a 0. So, with this being said, I'm just going to do something like this, and this is just my visual representation of what it is. So, imagine that the letter P is right there. There is slot 0 here and slot 1 here. It is from spot 0 to 1 is where that P is. It is also from spot -5 to -4. And same with that I, same with the Z, same with the other Z, and then same with the A. They are all commandeering a specific spot. If you were to make a box around each and every single letter in this, it would be like this way. So this is in between 1 and 2, this I. It's also, if you're going backwards, in between part -3 and part -4. That is how this slicing is working. So, if I were to simply print out the first two letters of this slice, I'd be going from slice 0 to 1, and that'd be the first one, but I'd also be going from 1 to 2 if I wanted to print out these two letters, right? So I would have to go from 0 to 2. So I'm just going to print, out, that's what I'm doing, So this will slice out the first two letters forward, okay? So if I were to print out, and I need to print out my word, right? So if I go to Word, and then I have to essentially operate this as a range. So as a tuple, as an array, as a list. So I'm going from slot 0 because I'm going forward. So slot 0 colon 2. So from slot 0 to slot 2, which means I'm should get the P and the I. So let's print it out and see if it works. This should slice out the first 2 letters forward. There it goes. It worked. And you know what? I'm just going to make a /n here just for the sake of making this space out more. And I'll just copy and paste this. But instead of slicing out the first 2 letters, let's, if I were to do this backwards, I'd do, well, let's not do it backwards. Let's just go in order of the actual assignment here. So let's just go, this will slice out the, second and third letters. But this time let's go backwards. So let's go back. So what's the second letter? Second letter is a Z, and the third letter is a Z. So I need to go from -1 to -3, right? So if I start, here's the thing, at -3, and I go to -1, you'd probably think, why don't I start with -1 and go this way? Nope, it still goes left to right. It doesn't go right to left. So your start point is still here, your end point is still there. So if I execute this, and see I have the ZZs. So right there, I got the PI and I got the ZZs. So now let's do the same thing, but this time instead, let's slice out, this will slice from 2 forward with no ending point. So if I were to just do 2 and then a colon, I'm starting at 2, and then I have no predefined ending point. If I have no predefined ending point, it's going to go from the start point all the way to the end. So if I hit execute, it went from the 2 all the way to the 5. So it did the ZZA. So you see here, if you don't want an ending point, you do that. So let's do this the same way, but let's do this in reverse. So this time, this will start from, this will have three forward, but with no starting point. So instead, I'm going to have a blank part to the left of my colon, and I'll end it at 3. So in theory, I should have 0, 1, 2, 3. I should get the PIZ. So remember, as long as you have that colon there, it will automatically assume you want a range. So it's not going to go and say, oh, I only want 3. Well, what's 3? 3 is nothing. There is nothing right on 3. It's between 3 and 4, or between 3 and 2. So you need that colon. And that colon assumes if there's nothing on the side of it, you just mean from the start of the word or from the end of the word. So if we have the right side open, it'll assume the end point. If you want the left side open, it'll assume the start point. So let's execute that and show that it works. And you see it went PIZ. So it went from open to 3 and gave us the PIZ. So now, let's print out the entire word. Print out the entire word. So, also /n, this, well, what am I doing? I should just copy and paste. I've already been copying and pasting this entire time. So this will slice the entire word. Now, how do you think we would slice an entire word? If this means no end point, this means no start point. We have no defined start point, no defined end point, therefore it will print out everything. Execute. So now it printed out the entire word. And of course, if you really, really just want one letter forward or one letter back, what are you going to have to do? You'll have to, this is, print, one letter forward. And, I'll just pick your letter. I don't know, I'll just pick, 0, and I'll pick 1. So there we go. We'll have one letter. It should be the P. And as you see, that's what it did, because from 0 to 1 is that. And of course, if I were to do this, in reverse, if I said, -5 to -4, it would still give me the P, because it's -5 and -4. The letter inside there, the string inside there, the character inside there is a P. So, that sort of situation. And yes, of course, you can do sort of things with, if I were to say I have, a starting point of, -2, and I have no ending point, it should go to Z and A. So, execute. Look, there it is, ZA, so on and so forth. So yes, these things all work forward and backwards as well. So everything works forward and backwards as well. It's just if you want to slice it forward, you do it this way. If you want to slice it from backwards, you do it this way. And that's how you would slice and essentially turn a string into a list, or an array, or a tuple. Turn it into each individual character, which we already kinda did by using the length. It was checking every single character, not necessarily the string all at once. So this is just more going into that type of situation. And yes, this will come in handy for later projects, just letting you know that. So once you have this all working, please save it, submit it through the 3rd mini project of this week. And, oh wait, no, this is the 4th one, isn't it? This is the 4th mini project. Submit this through the 4th mini project of this week. It probably says, word slicer or something on it. And save it, submit it, and remember to hit that submit button. And I'll see you next week when we put all of this together into one big final project for the class, not counting your actual final exam.